Today, we're jumping into an ancient poem that honestly reads more like a three-act play. It's this short but incredibly powerful drama all about power, rebellion, and ultimate authority. And it's all packed in just 12 verses of Psalm 2.
So, right out of the gate, the whole drama just kicks off with this explosive question. It doesn't ease you in. Nope, it throws us right into the middle of a conflict. It sets this cosmic stage where you just know something huge is about to happen. This is the opening line to a story about a full-blown global uprising.
So, you might be wondering, what exactly is this text we're digging into? Well, Psalm 2 is known as a royal or a messianic psalm. And you can think of it like this. It's pulling back the curtain on a struggle that's basically timeless. This clash between earthly rulers who want total control and the ultimate authority of God. Right from the beginning, people saw this psalm as way more than just a poem. Early believers, for instance, they interpreted it as a direct prophecy, one that pointed to a future Messiah, a chosen king. And that really sets up its central, unwavering message. It doesn't matter how powerful human governments or systems might seem, a divine reign is ultimately going to prevail. Okay, let's dive into Act 1. The camera, so to speak, zooms in on Earth. We're focused on the war rooms and the fancy council chambers where all the kings and rulers are huddled together, scheming and planning their big move. So the scene we get here is one of, well, restless energy. You've got the leaders of the world all conspiring, united in this one single cause. But, and this is key, the psalmist immediately calls their plotting in vain. So from the very start, we're being told this rebellion is totally futile, even if the rebels themselves have no idea yet. And here it is. This is their battle cry. This one line tells you everything you need to know about their motivation. See, from their point of view, God's laws aren't about order or protection. They see them as chains, as shackles that need to be broken so they can be free. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of the conflict. For the earthly rulers, divine authority is just an oppressive cage. But the psalm flips that completely, saying that authority is actually a protective shield. This massive difference in perspective is what fuels the entire drama. All right, on to Act 2, and now the perspective shifts dramatically. We leave those war rooms on Earth, and the camera zooms all the way out to the throne room of heaven. We're about to see the reaction to this grand conspiracy. So faced with this massive, coordinated, global rebellion, God's response isn't what you'd expect. It's not panic. It's not even anger. It's laughter. Now, this isn't some cruel mockery. It's the kind of laugh that comes from seeing the huge, almost comical gap between our finite human pride and infinite divine power. And the reason for the laughter is pretty simple. From heaven's point of view, this rebellion poses zero threat. Absolutely none. You know, it's like watching a colony of ants plotting to overthrow a mountain. The outcome is already a done deal, which makes all their defiant scheming look, well, a little absurd.
And this is God's final word on the matter, his definitive answer to all their plotting. He doesn't argue, he doesn't negotiate, he just states a fact. While they're busy trying to break free, he has already installed his chosen king. The rebellion isn't just futile, it's too late. The king is already on the throne.
So that brings us to the final act. And here, the whole cosmic drama comes right back down to earth, and it boils down to a really clear and direct choice. The focus isn't just on the rulers anymore, it's on everyone. And it comes with a serious warning and a surprising invitation. And now we hear from the king himself, and he reveals the decree he's received. His authority is total. The nations aren't something he has to go out and conquer, they're given to him, like an inheritance. And that rod of iron, that's a symbol of absolute power, of unshakable judgment. This reign isn't just symbolic, it's absolute, it's final.
So, in the face of all that, what are these rebellious rulers supposed to do? The psalm gives them some surprisingly practical advice. It's a call to just drop their foolish plot and start acting with some wisdom. And it all leads up to this very specific and, to our modern ears, very strange-sounding command: kiss the sun.
Yeah, what does that even mean, right? Well, in the ancient world, this was a real physical act. To kiss the king, or maybe even his feet, was this profound gesture of submission. It meant you were pledging loyalty and homage. So the command is basically drop your weapons of rebellion and pledge your total allegiance to God's chosen king.
So as we get to the end, the whole drama boils down to two possible outcomes. There's no middle ground here. The choice is stark. It's either destruction or safety. And it all depends on how you respond to the king. And this is the final word. After all the talk of rebellion, the laughter from heaven, the warnings of judgment, the psalm ends on this incredible note of hope. For anyone who stops fighting and instead runs to the king for protection, the promise isn't judgment, it's blessing. It's refuge.
Okay, so that's a powerful ancient poem, but you might be thinking its message about power and security feels, well, ancient. But actually, when you start connecting the dots to our world today, its relevance is kind of startling.
I mean, just look around. When we see all the global turmoil, the political instability, leaders all vying for power, it's really easy to feel like history is just spiraling out of control. But this psalm offers this radical counter-narrative. It says that no matter what chaos we see, a divine plan is firmly in place. Our ultimate security doesn't come from a political party or any human leader, because God has already set his true king on the throne.
And this really brings that whole cosmic drama down to a super personal level. It kind of forces us to ask ourselves, in my own life, where do I see God's authority as restrictive chains that I just want to break? Are we, maybe, in our own small ways, joining that rebellion? Or are we actively choosing to find our safety and our security in him? And this is where we find the central paradox of the whole poem. The rulers thought freedom meant breaking away from God, but the psalm's final promise suggests the exact opposite, that real freedom, true freedom, isn't found in defiant independence. It's found in willingly surrendering to the one who offers genuine refuge. So, in the end, we're left with the exact same choice that was presented to those kings thousands of years ago. We can join the futile rebellion and face that rod of iron, or we can bow, find refuge, and be called blessed. The psalm lays out the options pretty clearly, and then it leaves that final, wisest choice up to us.